how to avoid having doubts about one's intention in the prayer. How does one avoid having doubts about one's intention in the prayer? Now, normally a question such as this is coming from the waswasa perspective. Some people, and it's a growing musibah that many people are afflicted with. If you know or you suspect that you are suffering from waswasa, in other words, that when it comes to starting your act of worship, developing an intention, when it comes to istinja, when it comes to wudu, when it comes to salah, when it comes to what is halal and haram, when it comes to the validity of your marriage, when it comes to did I utter a statement of kufr, all of these matters, if you find that you've become obsessive about it, is it valid, isn't it valid? Did I do it right, did I not do it right? To the point where it's becoming burdensome and it's actually affecting other aspects of your life. Understand that you have a spiritual come psychological issue that needs help. And the help that you need is not going to be within learning more fiqh or learning more rulings pertaining to those issues. That's not the way out for you. What you need is a spiritual counseling. So you need to see a scholar, a sheikh, who can guide you with practices of Islamic spirituality that would be of benefit to you. Secondly, you need psychological help because this is referred to as OCD, or an expression of OCD, specifically referred to as religious scrupulosity. And thirdly, you need to understand that because of your condition, that the rules are generally going to be different for you as opposed to others. So for example, for a person not afflicted by waswasa, if they are in their prayer and they are doubting, am I in the third raka'ah or the fourth raka'ah? For a person not afflicted by waswasa, that's important, they would assume I only did 3 and they build on a 4th. But for the person afflicted by waswasa, that rule doesn't apply. For if they were to apply that rule, they would never stop praying. They would always be in the third raka'ah. So this is problematic, and you have to understand that you have that condition. So the advice given to such a person is, you always do the opposite of those rules. If you doubt based on waswasa, did I form my intention correctly? Did I not form my intention correctly? You have formed your intention correctly. You continue praying. And you say, A'udhu billahi minash shaitani rajim. And you don't listen to the whispers of shaitan, because what he's trying to do is, he's trying to distract you from the essence of your ibadah. So instead of focusing on Allah, you are focusing on your own ability or inability to engage in this act of worship. You have to also understand, this is critically important for a person afflicted by waswasa, you have to understand that Allah is not out to trick you. Allah is not out to get you. Allah wants good for you, and that Allah's mercy is all-encompassing. And His mercy far outweighs any other quality of His subhanahu wa ta'ala. Kataba ala nafsihi rahmah. He had decided that rahmah is His predominant quality. So based on that, please proceed to get the necessary help that you need. In light of anybody else having doubts in terms of your intention, the key here would be simplicity, right? In our fiqh, it is important to note that while the scholars generally mention the verbalization of an intention, to state, I'm praying for whatever the reason, whichever prayer, fard, on time, etc., etc., different formulae are prescribed. That there is a verbal expression of the intention, not the intention proper. The intention proper is that which is in the heart. And the way we can understand that is to have an acute consciousness of purpose that must accompany the commencement of an act of ibadah. So for example, as you commence the salah, the first thing that you do is you say Allahu Akbar. So at the time of saying Allahu Akbar, you need to be acutely conscious of what it is that you are undertaking. If you are saying Allahu Akbar to start your prayer, and you are unmindful in that moment of what exactly it is you're doing, you're supposed to be thinking Maghrib, but in your mind you're thinking Isha, or you're not thinking anything at all, then that is lacking an intention. So one of two things would assist here. either the verbal expression of the intention is causing confusion for you because you don't necessarily understand the Arabic, but you're trying to articulate it in Arabic. There, I would advise omit the verbalization of the intention and just make sure you have the acute consciousness of purpose in your heart and start your act of ibadah. It is not required of you to utter anything. Or it's an internal doubt, so you're not sure whether you were actually acutely conscious of your purpose, in which case the verbal expression might actually help you in that sense. However, it's only going to help you if you understand what you are saying. So there's no point in, obsessing that it must be in Arabic and that you must learn it in this particular formula like it was written in the book. It may actually be more helpful for you to read or to verbalize that intention in your own mother tongue. And that way you can combat any form of doubts, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows best. La ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah.